Hello students, today we'll start with the third chapter, that is classification of business activities. The term business include both industry and commerce. Now we shall classify business into two categories. First is industry and second is commerce. Now broadly speaking, industry is concerned with the production of goods, while commerce deals with the distribution of goods and services which we are producing under industry. Now business is divided into two parts. First is industry and second is commerce. Now industry includes all those human activities which are mainly concerned with the production of goods for the sale of the consumers. Now we are in this concern, we are going to change the raw materials into finished product. For this we need land, labor, capital, organization as factors of production. Now by Evelyn Thomas, industry has been defined as industrial activities which is concerned with the growing, extending and manufacturing of materials into goods. Now here the organization is going to use the raw material for future production, that is known as producers goods, or as a final product by the consumers called the consumer goods. Now for example, consumer goods are those goods which are directly consumed by the consumers, and producers goods are those goods which producer produces and they sell those goods to the final consumers. Then next is types of industries. Now industries are being classified into following categories. Now first is on the basis of activity, that is primary, industry and territory, and then on the basis of size, that is micro, small, medium and large. Now let's first classify on the basis of the activity, that is primary industries. Now see, primary industries are those industries which engaged activities as are engaged in the extraction of natural resources and reproduction of plants and animals are known as primary industry. Now primary industry is also divided into two parts, that is genetic industries and extractive industry. Now genetic industry is an industry which involves in the breeding or reproducing of plants and animals with a view to earn profits by selling them. Like for example, plant nurseries, poultry farms, cattle breeding, agriculture farms, fisheries, all these things, where we breed them, we multiply them and then we sell it off to earn profit. Now next is secondary industry. Next is extractive industry. Now extractive industries are those industries which are involved in extracting useful materials from soil, climate, air, water and from beneath the earth's surface. Now the products extracted by these industries are those endowed by the nature for human use. The products so obtained can be used as finished product or as raw materials for further production. Now examples are mining, quarrying, oil exploration, refining, agriculture, forestry. Extractive industries are those industries, the goods which we can extract from the natural resources. Now next is secondary industries. Now secondary industries includes activities that are engaged in processing primary materials or raw materials into finished product is known as secondary industries. Now, secondary industries are further classified into manufacturing industry and construction industry. Now, manufacturing industry is an industry which is engaged in processing and conversion of raw materials and semi-finished goods into finished products. In simple words, the products of genetic and extractive industries are further processed to produce the final product. For example, sugar industry, engineering industry, cement industry and textile industry. Now here we do in manufacturing industry, here we do the conversion of raw materials or finished product into the final product so that we can sell it off in the market and earn profit. Now next is construction industries. Now construction industries engage all those activities which is doing construction, erection, fabrication or building work. In general, such industries undertake these activities on a large scale at a fixed site. For example, industries are the construction of roads, railway lines, building like residential, office or factory, flyovers and bridges, canals, tunnels, dams, etc. Construction industry is generally used to do the construction of roads, railways, buildings, or you can say tunnels, dams, canals, and after constructing all these things we earn profit out of them. Then next is territory industries. These are the industries as are engaged in providing support services to primary and secondary industries and also to trade. They facilitate the production and marketing of goods. Also, they make trading more profitable by adding time, place and knowledge utility to them. For example, aids to trade via transport, storage, warehousing, communication, banking, insurance, advertising and publicity, packaging, etc. Now, territory industries are those industries which provide the services to distribute the goods to the final consumers. Through various ways. Like suppose if we are using transport, so we need transport to do the production in one place and supply it in whole of the country. Then we need warehousing also. If we are supporting it, like we are producing here in Lucknow and we are supplying it to Banaras, so if we need to supply it on a particular date, so before that date we have to keep those goods in a warehouse so that we can make all the arrangements to get it ready on the date of its supply. For if we are supplying the goods to like Kanyakumari from Allahabad, obviously we need banking also, we need insurance also to produce the good here through banking, to get it insured and then supply it to Kashmir or Kanyakumari. Then we need to advertise it up, we need to give the publicity to the people so that they can understand about the product and they may get attracted. So we need industries for the advertising and publicity also. Now next is on the basis of size. So first is micro industries. Now micro industries in India are classified as industrial units in which the original cost of investment in plant and machinery should not exceed 25 lakhs. Now in India, such industries are in a very large number and they provide employment to second largest number of persons after agriculture. These industries plays an important role in economic growth as well. Now micro industries are in a very large quantity in a very large scale quantity these industries are available. Because investing 25 lakhs in a small industry, it's not a big deal. People they can contribute and they can start a business contributing 25 lakhs of rupees for micro industries. Now next is small industries. Now to have a small industry, you need an investment in plant and machinery should be more than 25 lakhs, but it should not exceed more than 5 lakhs. No, for this to invest from 25 lakhs to 5 crores, we can have a simple form of business, that is a sole proprietor or partnership also. Low capital and investment, personalized management, simple use of technology, use of skilled and semi-skilled manpower, limited market coverage, etc. Now, this type of industry has found considerable growth in India. Now, there are people who can invest money in between 25 lakh to 5 crore to have a small industries. But in compare to micro industries, small industries are less. Now, next is medium industries. Now, medium industries are those industries which in the original cost of investment should be more than 5 crore but should not exceed 10 crores. Now, these industries are specialized and they are very professional in management. Generally, these are the private limited companies, those who invest from 5 crores to 10 crores. Now, next is large industries. Now, large industries need an investment of more than 10 crores. Now, modern technology, foreign collaboration wherever it is necessary, highly skilled people for the large industries, professional people, then large scale production and cater to a wide market. Foreign collaboration means plus wide market means we are collaborating not only in India but in foreign countries also. Now, large scale industries do include all the professional and new technology with the highly skilled people if you are investing more than 10 crores in a large industry. Now, next topic is role of a small business in India. Now, there are 13 points given in your book. So, first is largest number of industries. Now, small business accounts for 95% of the total industrial units in India. Means, whatever business we are having in India, 95% of businesses is small businesses. Next is contribution to GDP and export. A small business contributes almost 40% of the gross value added and 45% to the total export from India. Now, 40% means a small business contributes 40% money in the GDP and 45% exports are done by the small business. Then generation of employment opportunity. Small business are the second largest employers of human resources in India after agriculture. Because being labor intensive in character, they create more number of employment opportunities in terms of per unit of capital invested compared to large industries. Means large industries does not hire more people, but small business employs, second largest employers are the small business who employs the employers who employs the people after agriculture unit. Then next is produce large variety of product. A small business produces a large variety of goods which include mass consumption of goods, ready-made garments, hosiery, soaps and detergents, plastic and rubber goods, leather goods, stationery items, domestic utensils, etc. Now, a small business do contribute in all these businesses. Each and every city, they have their own bakery shop, they have their own supplies in their own cities. No, so small business produces a large variety of goods for their own people in their own cities, even in their own villages or small townships. No. The next is helps in balanced regional development. By utilizing local resources of the area where they are set up, small business promote balanced regional development. They also help in employing local talents and promotes industrial of backward and tribal areas. They also remove socio-economic imbalances and ensures equity and social justice to the masses by a more equitable distribution of income and wealth within the country. Now, balanced regional development by using the local resources. No, by using small businesses to promote regional development. Here it is said ki by utilizing or by using small businesses in each and every area, we can have a balanced regional development in each and every state, in each and every city, in each and every village. No, if we are promoting small businesses in every area. Now, these industries also help in economic development of the villages. If we are setting up small businesses, we do help in economic development of the villages. Now, next is provide a good opportunity for entrepreneurship. Now, a small business can be set up in any area with little capital investment and no formalities are required. The latent skills of local people can be channelized into business ventures which can yield rich dividends. Now, by using small capital, we can establish small businesses and we can use common people or local people from that area only to yield more and more income. Then enjoy the advantage of low cost of production with locally available less expensive resources, low running cost and advantages of low cost of production. The small businesses enjoy a competitive strength. Now, if we are having a small business in a small area, so obviously we cannot have more cost of production. We can have a advantage of low cost of production if we are going to use the natural resources or the locally available less expensive resources. Now, enjoy quick and timely decision making. Now, large organization needs time to take the decisions, but in a small business we doesn't need time to take decisions. We can take quick decisions according to the performance and efficiency of a small business. Beneficial to large scale, large industries obtain a number of components for their product from ancillary industries. So small business plays a vital role to support large industries by producing varieties of goods only for the large industries. Next is helps to maintain pollution-free environment. Unlike the large businesses, small business do not harm environment by polluting them through chemical waste, water pollution, fumes and gases. Generally, small business are eco-friendly. Then provide satisfaction to the consumers. A small business produce and sell products to suit their tastes and preferences of individual customers. They produce goods according to the needs of the customers. But these facilities is not available generally in the large business, because large business they seek profit. And small businessmen seek the needs of the consumer so that they can have a continuous profit in their business. Then provides personal touch. Due to their inherent strength of adaptability, a personal touch can be maintained with the customers as well as the employees can also have the personal relationship directly with the customers, because we are going to produce, the small business are going to produce according to the customers. Then helps in capital formation. A small industry contributes significantly to the capital formation of the country. It increases the rate of growth in the saving. Through small savings only we can have a huge amount of capital saved. So it does help, small industries does help in the capital formation. Though the rate of growth is increasing, but still it slowly helps in the capital formation of the country. Now we have completed the chapter 3 part 1. In the next video we are going to start with chapter 3 part 2 with the topic commerce. Now you people is requested to read the chapter carefully, learn all the topics, all the points, and go through each and every example given in your book. Through this you will be able to revise the topics which I have taught you here. Thank you.